Okay, let's get going. So, Terminal Emulator is working good. Been using it lately. Um, Time to just add features, I guess. So, what I want to start with today is probably keybinds or scrollback. Font resizing will get combined here with this zoom. Um, Probably we'll start with keybinds and introduce scrollback after that. So, how do we want to do that? Let's see. So now in the past, I've done like this function pointer thingy, which I kind of like. Um, so basically, we do a it's like a handmade hero thing, but anyways, keybind function. We define this macro, which takes a name, and then it defines a keybind function. It basically produces a keybind function with the same signature. So it's going to take a terminal and it's going to take an arg pointer. Now this arg pointer we don't have yet. Let's go into here and add an arg pointer. So an arg pointer is just going to be a union. It's just going to be a, the function can just take any random. We don't have like function overloading or anything like that in C. This doesn't like satisfy multiple definitions. So we just need to somewhere in here we just need to have a I'm not sure where I'd like to actually put this yet. So we're gonna need to add a like a new structure, probably like a keybind, some sort of keybind function, or we could actually do that in here. So probably it doesn't matter too much where we just shove this argument pointer, or this argument type def rather. Let's just put it here underneath the font atlas stuff. What's actually above this? Probably doesn't need like that much of this junk anyway, so I don't know, we could put it underneath the we could put it up here somewhere maybe. Let's shove it down here with the terminal stuff. So we're just gonna type def a union arg, and arg is gonna have a few members. It's gonna have a 32 float. It's gonna have a i32 int. Could take like an S8, like a string. I'm not sure that's like super useful or not yet. Possibly we'll just leave that alone until later. But maybe it's needed. Maybe yeah. So actually, here's a good way of doing it. So we'll have a void pointer, v, and we'll have an S8s. We don't know if we need all of these yet, but they might be useful. So this union is only going to take up the it's only going to take up the size of this, the biggest thing. So it's actually going to take up the size of this S8, which is a little big, but that's fine. Maybe we can get rid of this actually. I'm not sure if like we need a string ever. Get rid of that for now. Just leave it like this. So we're gonna take this. So we've got this. We've got our type def here. Then we're gonna actually type def a function, keybind function, and it's gonna be a keybind function. And this basically just makes a type keybind function, which we can use as a parameter to like a struct. So we'll do that next. We're gonna do a struct, and it's gonna be anonymous. It's not gonna be anonymous. It's gonna be a hotkey struct, global hotkeys, and hotkeys is obviously an array. And this is gonna have some members here. So it's gonna have a key. It's gonna have a keybind function. Like a pointer, I guess, to a keybind function rather. And it's going to have an arg. And then we're gonna leave a comment here. Bindable functions. And these are just gonna straight up be the prototypes along with just a comment here about like what argument they take. So I think we're gonna start with like the font resizing. So we'll just define a little keybind function zoom. And we'll put this over here somewhere. Arg dot I. It's going to be a font size increment, which can obviously be negative. And then in here we're gonna start doing these. So let's say first of all we should define some macros here. So mod key macro, which is going to be glfw mod alt. And then we're going to have a terminal mod. Term mod, which is just going to be that's going to be like a control and shift, like control shift. Yeah, mod shift, that's what it's called. And then an alternate mod, which is going to just be the glfw mod alt ORed with glfw mod shift. And then this one, I don't think we'll just leave it commented out for now. Someone could use it if they wanted to. glfw mod super. That would be like the Windows key. In DWM, obviously, the Windows key is used for most of the window management functions, so I don't really want to mess with that one too much. So then in here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to define a little struct. And it's going to be an encode key. So if you go into our function here before, we had encode key somewhere. So basically, this just goes ahead and takes all the possibilities for the key, like the action, the mod, and the key, and it just makes a little bit of a nice little int that we can compare against. So we're going to do that. We're going to do glfw press. And we're going to say the alt mod. Actually, let me think here. So these should be like the default key bindings. I feel like Control Shift plus and minus would be like the what people normally expect for Zoom. In my personal bindings, I'm gonna modify it because I don't use that. I'm used to using like Alt Shift and like J or K to zoom in. So I'll be binding those in my own version. But for this one, we're gonna do term mod just for the defaults here, and we'll do what is that key even called? So what does GLFW call the keyboard keys plus? It's going to be equal as keypad equal. I think it's just key equal and then key minus. So, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, we don't have copy paste. We need to add copy paste. That's the next thing to add right after we add zoom, I think. Key equal. And then function is going to be zoom. And the arg is going to be .I is equal to +1. I'm gonna, oops, I did that. What am I typing today? Holy moly. We're also gonna make this for repeat. And then we're gonna add the minus. So that's looking good. Let me just copy this to my config. So we need all of this. And I'm just gonna go ahead and change these to alt mod and to glfw key J and key K. Oops, what happened there? Okay, so now we have to go in, and if we try to compile this, it'll probably just break, and this isn't super smart building this here. Okay, it's just gonna error, that's fine. Didn't mean to, part of that's my bad for doing this. This should have been a comma. Yeah, I kind of thought that was gonna happen, so that wasn't so smart. Oh, now I've got this beautiful problem where this, when you kill the terminal underneath it, this decides to do some very dumb stuff. And there's probably another one somewhere here. Oh, no, it'll just be the one. Okay. So let's actually go back to here. We'll just leave it running in here for now while we're making live changes. Didn't finish building. It's a problem because of the order of operations we've just gone ahead and done here. Right. So that is a problem with where we have included config.h. Where do we include config.h? Wait at the end. That doesn't make any sense. That should be after the GL stuff is included, right? How are we even including the GL stuff? So it would be included here. I feel like this stuff shouldn't even be in here, to be honest, but so where are these errors coming from? In file included from where? I just do this. It will be a little easier here. So let's see. Main. Right. Well, main.c should just have the stuff here defined. So this is a little strange. I don't know why this. Oh, it's in test.c. That's gonna be a problem. We can ignore test.c for now. I'm gonna remove that from the build. I'll have to think about what to do with that. This is just the linker error, which is what I was expecting, that the function wasn't yet defined. So we're gonna edit btgl.c and we're gonna go in here somewhere. Possibly well, we might want to. We're going to be calling these. They're going to be function pointers. These aren't going to call any of the callback functions, but they could call other things in here. Probably none of this draw text, push rec, stuff like that, but let's just put them right above the callbacks, to be honest. It's probably like the best place for them. We're going to have a keybind function. It can be a static keybind function. Zoom. Now, if we go ahead and open this font atlas, so in the font atlas, we have got fonts, and actually the font itself stores the font size. Probably should be stored as an I32. Right, we shouldn't really use static and not static. That's a good point. Kind of tempted just to put in the definition static. Then I don't know if you can. See what happens here. Yeah, just kind of static in a type def like that. You'd have to do like this. That's probably fine, to be honest. We'll do that. So that's building, so now we can at least probably run undefined symbol zoom, referenced by main. Right, this is like a problem with the way this is set up right now. So for like this hot reloading, Main's gonna need to include this config.h. But if this config.h just has all these keybinds in it, then we cannot do this like this. I don't want to have like two, that's a bit annoying. I want to have two like config files. Yeah, because main needs to be able to see this. So how do I want to do this? Which of these functions, what does main actually need from config.h? That's a good question. It needs like this fonts, I think. Probably this name. And that's probably about it. Hmm. Well, this default title thing it can just go in main for one, but this fonts array needs to go in the config. So what can we do here? Let me think. So we need to be able to access that from main. Init callbacks. Do debug init callbacks. It's possible that this can be called after. It's possible we can call this init fonts after, and we can move this init fonts, remove this init fonts call. I'm not sure I like that though. I think for now we're just gonna start by moving this keybinds to a separate file. Um, hmm. Don't really like that though. I'm gonna think about this, but I just want to get this set up anyways for now. So that can do that for now. So we get this building. What do I call that? Okay, so now we should be able to run again. So let's go back into here. And we've got Zoom, but we haven't let's just go ahead and we're going to go to zoom. We're going to do an fprintf standard error. So we're going to do that. And then in our, what's it called? We're going to go ahead and, well, declaring these static is like completely pointless because the, can't inline them anyways because they have, because they're being taken as function pointers. So yeah, we're not going to do that. Anyways, so in this thing here, after we've just handled that, and before we go and handle this, we're going to do a for loop here. I is less than array count g hotkeys. And we need to do an encode key here. So we're gonna do handle map key bindings. I'm going to do U32 encoded is going to be equal to encode key. We've got an act. We've got a mods. And we got a key. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to say struct hotkey pointer hk is equal to hotkeys plus I if hotkey to key is equal to encoded. We're going to go ahead and call hkey to function with the terminal and the argument. Why is this? I don't think this really needs to take a pointer argument. But yeah, it doesn't really make sense. We're not going to be modifying this. Doesn't make sense. Okay. And then we'll do a return if we handled the key. Otherwise, we'll go down here and try to handle it again. Right. A.I. So now if I go ahead and I press Alt-Shift-J or K, we're going to see in the, in the output here on the right, we should see zoom. So there we go. Pretty good. So let's go ahead and make that actually do something. No, actually, there's already a function in here that may or may not, probably doesn't even work. Set font sizes, I think. I don't know what that comment is about. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what this comment's about, to be honest. So this, how are we doing this here? Yeah, let's just go in here instead. We're gonna do, this isn't gonna take a font size anymore. It's gonna take a font, it's gonna take a size delta. And then we're gonna go in here, we're gonna say fonts I dot font size plus size delta. Let's actually just do it this way. No, let's not do it that way. We're gonna do it this way. If it just succeeds, we will store new size. So this is gonna be face and new size. And here we need to do a little bit of a clamp. So we should clamp it to like something reasonable, like 8 and max font size, I think, is a thing we have somewhere. We'll see if that builds in a second here. Well, it will if we put it up here. Oh, right. When it's included from main, that's like annoying. Well, that could just be defined in the util.h anyways, so um sure. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Then what we're gonna do is in Zoom, we're gonna call set shift font sizes. It's gonna take a T to FA, A dot I. Then we're going to some here there's like a function that get GPU index, update font textures, update uniforms. I think we're gonna call update font textures. And does update font textures do anything here? If we just set this here, I feel like we need to set the flags in here. Needs full blit. Oh, right, we're not doing that yet. Never mind, this doesn't... No, it does. It does, because we've just adjusted the font size. So yeah, we have to do this. Unless update font metrics does that for us. I don't think it does. Yeah. That is correct, actually. We're going to do that. This is going to take the T. And what else do we need out here? I think that's about it, right? I don't think there's anything else we got to do in this function. Oh, we probably actually have to resize, so... Yeah, so we don't really need to call update font texture, or we don't really need to call that. We don't really need to do that here. So when we just zoom, the font metrics will change. So we're gonna have to resize the terminal because we're gonna be able to fit more or less cells. So really that's what we should be doing here. And that will be it for that. So let's see if this just is gonna work or it's gonna crash horribly. That looks to me like it is working. Except we're not updating the shouldn't resize be calling that? It does. And we're doing like a full blit afterwards. That's really weird. Why don't we just call resize here? Expecting this size here. What is this size? Size is like the number of cells. Window size is the number of pixels. Why was resize not adjusting these parameters? Like probably we're just doing it somewhere stupid. Or we shouldn't be doing it. Like here. So we don't actually need any of that here. Like why is this... In this frame buffer callback, we don't need to do this here. We need to do it after we call this resize function. I guess it's because of like this GL viewport, but this GL viewport could be just called in the... just take all of this out of here. Yeah, this would be more correct. Yeah, width and height are the window size dot width and height. Oops. There we go. That's looking better. It's a little slow still. I have to look at why that is. I mean, we are just running in unoptimized mode, but say that's a win so far. So this part here doesn't care about the cell size. So yeah. What was going on here? Are we resetting this? Who knows? Okay. So that is the first key binding. Now we probably want to do the clipboard. Now that one is probably actually going to be handled a little differently. Let me think. So let me actually see. Is there like a oops. So you can do set clipboard string and get clipboard string. There's a clipboard input and output. Feel like this should just be a keybind then, like a paste. How does I wonder how like ST does it. So that's not what I'm want to care about. It's probably up here. So there's clip copy and clip paste. Cell paste, cell copy. Now I don't know if I care about the stupid Xorg having two separate clipboards. We're just gonna look at these two functions here. We're gonna look at clip paste. Yeah, I don't know actually have any idea what Xterm or what ST is doing here, to be honest. Sure. Well, we're just going to define a function called paste. It's not going to take any arguments. Now the problem is you can't use like the normal. I don't know. I'm kind of. This might actually go in the default config as well. Probably we don't want to do repeat for the clipboard. Yeah, so Alt-Shift-V, I'm gonna make that probably the default for here. Alt-Shift-V is gonna paste from the clipboard. And actually in GLFW, you have no way of getting the other clipboard. You've only got the one clipboard. So we're just gonna handle the one clipboard, I think, for now. Let's go here. Let's do keybind function paste. And we have to get the. Why does get clipboard string take a pointer? It's not, it's deprecated, it doesn't matter, it can just be a null. So GLFW get clipboard string if text I believe it is OS tiled put S8. We do not have a put S, so we're gonna do the DOM. Doesn't give us a length, so we have to actually figure out the length here, which is really annoying. Gonna cast away this stupid const. Actually, we'll do it this way. Gonna do this. And then if text.data, B++, text.len++. Let's just, for now, I'm just going to comment this out, and we're just going to do the old fprintf again. Okay, and then I'm going to copy something, and then we're gonna go here and we're gonna do a Alt-Shift-V. That's what I copied. We can copy something else just to show that I'm not lying. So there we go. so then what we want to do is do this, presumably. We do this, and then we do insert, and then shift V. Hey, so you got some pasting going. That's good. Copying is going to be a bit more difficult. We have to do selection and stuff, so I might punt on doing the copy for now. And instead, I'm going to go ahead and just add the scrolling function, I think. So here, we are going to want to do something a little different. So we're going to have the scroll increment. Now, let me see. So so this is going to be called from like the scroll callback as well. So, right. So actually, yeah. So let's say that this function here is just going to do the scroll. In the scroll callback, we'll check if like the window is in the alt screen. And if it's in the alt screen, we actually need to put, we don't want to scroll. We want to actually put some data to the program that's running so that it can do its own scrolling. So if you've called this function, then you're just going to do like this, the scroll normally. So to do this, we need to have a new parameter in the terminal called the scroll. Here we're going to have a scroll offset, I think. And we're gonna say we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do I'm just like curious. I'm not sure like where the best way to definitely need to do a full bit. But I'm still like not sure about where we want to just clamp this. So say for now we just do it here. So let me think here. So let's before we add the scroll callback, let's just add something that's gonna call this function. Let's add a keybind. Let's say like page up or page down. And we'll make it scroll back like a few lines at a time. Instead of for page up, page down, we'll scroll a few lines, I guess. I need to close this because the structure changed. So now what we're doing key bindings. Line count increment. So let's say we get page up. This mod's going to be 0. It's going to call scroll. And it's going to call scroll with say +3 lines for now. And then we'll do page down. I'll be 3 lines. Okay, so let's go into VTGL here. So definitely we do want to like clamp this scroll offset to be zero and like some key to views, what do you call it? Probably but you could just call this in the alt screen. That would be a problem. So I think we should still just support this here. So if t to view, sorry, if t to mode, return immediately. T to view IDEX dot lines dot filled. Something like this. Okay, we're gonna try this. Start by doing this. So if we go into this, which I said was going to be bound to page up, page down, which on my keyboard are some weird keys. Not there. Oh, we're in alt screen, so of course that's not going to work yet. So if we're outside of alt screen, so that's going to increase it and that's going to decrease it. And it clamps to 0, which is good. I don't know how many lines are filled. Looks like 30. And it clamps to there. So we're going to do that. So then we have to actually use that. So offset is now 0. Not in here. In terminal.c, when we go to blit the lines, we need to make use of this now. Um, so let me think here. So we've got let me think. So basically we're gonna have an offset. And this offset should just get applied to this get line. But this needs to like clamp somehow, which is the problem. Let's just try this. I think this is completely wrong though. So here, let's do this, and let's also cat some file. We have some lines that we should be able to scroll up, and now we're gonna see. Probably I should do one at a time, but we'll just see how this is gonna work. This is like working so far, right? There's our list. I think what happens is we're gonna start repeating stuff. Oh, so this is obviously wrong, right? And then we're gonna trace back point. So let me see here. So in vtdl.c, hmm. So what we want to do is, let me just think about this again. So when we get this, so okay, so there's a couple things here. So first of all, if if this is less than or equal to the current cursor row, okay, I don't know about that. Let me see. Let me see here. So go to this first. So this can be TV to lines filled. Um, I mean, we could. We could use the cursor row though. Because we want to scroll back from the cursor row. So like if we scroll, let's just see this. First of all, let's scroll down to the bottom. So that works fine, right? You can scroll to the bottom, that's good. So eventually we scroll all the way up. This is not a good file to do this with because there's like tons of lines in it. We scroll all the way up past all this. We get back to here, which is where we were at. So this here, we shouldn't still be able to do this. This shouldn't be allowed. Also, yeah, so let me just fix this. I have to scroll all the way down because I don't have a, I need to, first of all, we need to snap this to 0 if you press some keys. So first things first, go to the char callback. If T to scroll offset, so this will snap to the, let's actually do this first thing. So this will snap to the bottom of the window when you start typing and you're scrolled back. We want to do that for sure. And then here though, is where things start to get a little tricky. This isn't, I don't think this is right, but yeah, so that's not correct because we can still do this, which is wrong. Let's actually use spit into like a pepper. Let us go and use that to our advantage. So we can print here. Let's also print the filled lines count. I don't remember what that is. It's probably like a size, so it's gonna be like ZD or something stupid. Oops, that's what I wanted to do. Cat. So it says 911 lines filled, but that's like not anywhere near 911. Oh, because the screen, there's like a screen clear. Should be able to scroll past the screen clear. Yeah. Right. Okay, so this isn't the best example. Let's just open a new one here. This one will be a little bit more useful to check. So yeah, we've done something wrong there, obviously. So these things, so if we go all the way back to this is not gonna. Let's try this. I think this is wrong, but. So maybe we should check what that is, to be honest. Because that would give us a better idea of what's going on. Cat debug.c. Hello. So we're gonna scroll all the way up. I'm gonna hit a breakpoint. We're gonna go here. Let's have a look. So obviously it's in this get line index, which I kind of knew. Offset minus 108, filled 107. So that's obviously wrong. We go up here and we have a look. Interestingly, our line count was 54, which I think is like a. That was definitely like the full height of the terminal. I feel like it should still be like the clamped to the cursor row. Like the cursor was at the bottom of the terminal, and you tried to scroll back. This isn't getting visible in the debugger, so we're just going to close that for now. Let's just run this again. That's right, isn't it? I don't know what I did wrong before. The cat debug.c is the first. We're off by one. That's it. We're just off by one. Util.h is the first line of debug.c. So this -1 is correct. -1 or +1 because it's double negative. I think it's like +1, right? Because of the double negative. It'd be -1 if you did this properly. But anyways, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna build. We're gonna close. We're gonna run. The first line here, debug.c. We're gonna scroll all the way up. We hit the assert somehow. So how did that happen? What's the scroll offset? 53. 53 plus 54 is, yeah, 107. No, it's not. Oops, sorry. Where's my sorry about that. Where's my window here? This is not my window. We're gonna let's get rid of this. Just be, I think it is -1. Good old don't use brain, just type code. Brain bad. Must type code. Okay, so we're gonna cat debug.c, and we should be able to go all the way up. No, it's did I rebuild? I don't know. Maybe I didn't rebuild. No, I did. So why is this not working? That's the second line because I'm dumb. Yeah, see, we're off by 1. So what should the line be so that we're not off by 1? Here, we can just break this right now. I don't know where we broke, it doesn't matter. we can go all the way back to main for all I care, because I just need to see what the terminal scroll offset is. Scroll offset's 53. This one had lines filled of 107. And the size was, well, that's the size after it's been resized up here. Let's just print the size, I guess, as well. Let's get rid of this. Let's just run this here. Okay. Cursor.position.y. P2size.height. So let's just build and just run just to make sure. Cat debug. So here we are. We've got scroll offsets 52. We've filled 102. Cursor positions 54. Size is 55. I think we can just, I guess like the idea was to scroll stuff like that, but who knew the hardest part of this was getting it to go to the right line? It's the wrong line. Why is the scroll offset 51? Right, because filled 106 minus size.height is 51. What we want is 52. Brute force. Is brute force gonna win again, or is it gonna crash us? No, it didn't win. Well, that doesn't make sense. Something here is just completely not correct. Let's be smart about this. Let the compiler remove the thingies. Scroll offset 53. Why is this like, why do I feel like this is not where the bug is? Feel like the bug is probably in the blit lines function. Yeah, so the scroll offset 52 plus 54, that would give us that, which means that you should start off at 0. So this has to be like a bug with the, I think it's this cursor here. This cursor should have been moved up 1. Oops. Delete this junk. It's loud and annoying. Um, so here, this has got to be like a bug here. So let me just, it's probably this code. So starting from 0 up until line count, that's why there was this -1 here. Minus line count plus I minus scroll count. So we're starting, we should be able to start at 0 in the buffer. It's just gotta be like this cursor, right? Is it this, these last 2 lines here are just wrong? Oops. What I just did there. Hmm. It's like this cursor, it's because of the cursor. Like the cursor is causing like a screen scroll for the last line, which is why we're not seeing it. Right, this should have been actually protecting against that. This is because of me getting rid of the wrap line. Because this was actually, this is protecting against that. Okay, just give me 1 second here. And no wonder I keep doing that. It's on the wrong terminal or on the wrong window. It should be on window 1 or window 2. I mean, not window 1. So let's step through this. So we're gonna go here, terminal.c, break, terminal.c, 947, if I equals line count. This is gonna be a problem. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. Line count 54, I 54. Scroll offset 52. So we just went in here with a thingy of minus 52. That's not even right. Wait, that doesn't even make sense. That's not the where we should be. So this was 0. Why can't this clamp to the filled then? Clamp this here to filled. Probably we want to do line count plus scroll. What was this on entry? 0. Oh, but it got changed here to size minus that. So this thing I think needs to be clamped. So you don't want to add that to that though. That's weird. I'm not sure like why this is doing this, to be honest. Huh. Let's go to this eye for a second, because this eye is kind of making this a little hard to follow. So we're gonna start from IDEX equals minus line count less than equal to 0. Then we're going to get a line IDEX, which is going to be IDEX minus the scroll offset. And then the rest of this should be fine. So yeah, we're still like just got off by 1 here. So probably should have like added these separately. I'm gonna add them separately. I have to figure out what to do with this first, I guess. But let's look at this terminal thing. So now this is a bit more easy to understand. So we have IDEX. When IDEX gets to 0, hold on, we don't want to, this is like counting backwards though. We should be playing the lines in the other order. No, sorry, no. This is correct. So when it gets to 0 normally without an offset, that's like the right IDEX of the line buffer. Otherwise, it's the scroll offset. So the scroll offset has to just get clamped to so it should be minus line count. So line count plus scroll offset cannot exceed the filled line count, which means that the maximum line count that we're going to blit is the size minus 1. That's like what we have written here in the scroll. Right? So that this part doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Technically, this is just going to be the 0 if it's not the alt screen, but we'll leave that as is for now. So T to scroll offset, let's just type this out here. Plus T to size dot H minus 1 has to be less than equal to TV to lines dot filled. Basically says that the scroll, this is typoed, that the scroll offset needs to be less than equal to TV lines filled minus this, which is what we have here. So this part, I am now certain is correct. As I was before. Now this other part, though, is where something weird's going on. Specifically, I think it's related to when the cursor I'm like 99% sure that what's happening is we are advancing the cursor once too many times. So it's actually this new line. I have a feeling it's this last new line. Just push new line do. So, is this even I mean, this is like correct though. That's the problem. Man, what do I do? So, I mean, it's also possible that the last character. Hmm. I'm gonna have to just think about this more for that last line. So, I mean, yeah, we can step through this one properly this time. So, and I'm gonna probably call it in a second here. So let's just this is broken. We scroll all the way up here. We're gonna undisable this. We're gonna continue. We're gonna press page up. You're gonna hit the breakpoint. So we're gonna get here. Right now, let's see. Scroll offset's 52. Line count was 54. Step into here. You're gonna get back at 0, which is correct. That seems wrong, but that does not seem to be the problem. Actually, let's look at our line here. It's only 32 characters. It is exactly the line we are thinking it is. These are actually getting played in reverse, which is weird. No, I guess that's not weird. But no, that is weird. I think, oh, I think, sorry, my breakpoint's just broken. Yeah, sorry. So, break terminal.c 947 if IDEX equals 0. I guess I didn't really need to do that. Okay, so let's see here. I didn't need to step into that. So the line is a tab and then some other junk. I guess if the line like was to wrap, it could be an issue. Didn't need to do that. So there is just the /n. So watch the cursor position here. We're gonna go through all this. What's the size? 128, so that's fine. And we're gonna hit that from this. We're gonna do that. Yeah. Then that line just has a /r/n, which there's nothing wrong with the /r, it's just this /n is immediately gonna cause the cursor to wrap. Because it shouldn't though. E is height Y, because position Y is 53, the size is 55. It's probably just a bug then. $54. It does not equal that, so it doesn't scroll. So we're done. Zero, so this is not even gonna pass. So then we're just done. What was that, what's that function called? Dump frame buffer to file. Um, I don't remember what the thing is for running a function. Should have a thing open somewhere here. Oh, oops. Don't know what that looked like. It's gonna be interesting for me to check. Let me see. So there's like a way to run a function. I just can't remember how you do it. Just any expression. Yeah, so dump fb to file p p. We have the fb now. It does not include what it's supposed to. So I'm like wondering why that's getting scrolled off. Because we obviously played the first one. And then it scrolled off. Well, I'm gonna have to call it for tonight. But that is okay because you did get somewhere. So you can zoom and unzoom. We can now paste. So I don't know what's in here. This. We're now able to paste into the term. That's cool. And we can scroll. This is like a weird scrolling problem with like if you have clears in the line feed. But anyways, you can scroll and see stuff. Actually, speaking of, this is just working fine. It's just the case when there's like one. So that's something I'm going to look at. So if you do this, no, it's just missing the first line. Weird. But yeah, anyways, so there's that. I don't know why we can't get the first line. Otherwise, it's pretty cool. We've got scroll back. We've got mostly working. We got some keybinds. So that is cool for tonight. Let me see here. Thanks for watching. And hopefully tomorrow, if I come back, we will do I don't figure out the scrolling. Well, I'll probably figure out the scrolling myself. What we will do probably first thing is we will add some selection regions. So you'll be able to copy stuff out of the terminal. We got paste, we'd like to get copy. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Ciao.